Today we'll be going over Pythagorean theorem and we are looking for our hypotenuse today. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Our formula for Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Okay, let's write down our vocabulary. A right triangle is a triangle with a right angle. Your hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle and it is opposite of the right angle. So remember, I always suggest to you to draw an arrow across your right angle. So let's say I have this right triangle. I draw an arrow across from my right angle to my hypotenuse. My hypotenuse is always going to be labeled C. Okay, hypotenuse is always labeled C. It's the longest side of a right triangle. Also, another important thing to remember, A, B, and C all represent your legs or your side lengths. A squared, B squared, and C squared equate to your area. Okay, so let's jump into our first example. So like stated before, I'm going to go ahead and draw my arrow across from my right angle. That way I know I'm looking for C. So C is my longest side and A is always going to be my shortest side. So I am going to first start off with my equation. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Well, really our formula. So I'm given two numbers. Remember, A is always my shortest side. So 3 is going to be A and 4 is going to be B. Now that I have that information, I can go ahead and substitute those values in. A is 3, so now that's going to be 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to C squared. Okay, so now I'm going to take out my calculator. I am going to do 3 squared, which gives me 9, and 4 squared gives me 16. So I'm going to do 9 plus 16 is equal to C squared. Now, I can pause here and fill in some important information. So now we know what A squared is, which is 9. We know what B squared is, which is 16. We know 9 plus 16 is equal to C squared, and that gives us 25. So 25 is equal to C squared. I can fill this in on my table. I am not done. I want to get C by itself. So remember, the opposite of squaring a number is to find the square root. So on your calculator, you press second x squared, and you put the number that you're looking for. So the square root of 25, and then I put my radical to identify that I found the square root. C is equal to 5. Okay, so the square root of 25 is 5. C squared is 25. C is 5. Now let's take a look at example B. Same thing, I'm going to go ahead and draw my arrow across just so I remember that C, that is my hypotenuse. I'm going to start with my formula. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Okay, 5 is A, 12 is B. Now I'm going to substitute in my numbers. I have 5 squared plus 12 squared gives me c squared. 5 squared is 25. 12 squared is 144. So once again, I'm going to pause and I'm going to fill out my table. 25 and 144. Well, 144 plus 25 gives us 169. So we know 169 is equal to c squared. 169 is equal to c squared. So then we're going to find the square root of 169, which is 13. So I'm going to finish my formula. Or I'm going to finish my equation. Sorry. When you finish your equation, you find the square root. So you get c by itself. And the square root of 169 is 13. So 5 squared plus 12 squared is equal to 13 squared. Okay. Last but not least, let's take a look at our last example. Our last example says the diagram below shows a broken fence post. Okay. What was the original height of the post? So here I have a broken fence post and I want to find the original height. In order for me to find the original height, I need to figure out what this side is and this side together. So what is this plus this? So the first thing that I noticed is I have two different measurements. I have inches and I have feet. Well, I know there are 12 inches in a foot, so we're going to convert this to 24 inches. Okay, now that I have that, I can start labeling my sides. Okay, so I have 18 inches and then I have 24 inches. But you don't want to do the work in the wrong units because it won't give you the correct answer. From there, I'm going to go ahead and start with my formula. A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So I have 18 squared plus 24 squared is equal to c squared. Let's go ahead and get our calculator. 18 squared gives us 324, and 24 squared gives us 576. So we have 324 plus 576 is equal to c squared. So 324 is a squared and 576 is b squared. So now I'm going to add those two numbers together and I get 900. 900 is equal to c squared. Okay. To get c by itself, I need to find the square root. So I'm going to find the square root of 900. So second x squared, 900, and that gives me 30. So c is equal to 30. Okay. Now that I have that information, I'm going to reread the question and make sure I'm answering everything that the question is asking me. It says, what was the original height of the post? Remember, this is broken. So I need to add B and C. B plus C. Because I want to find the side lengths, not the area. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do 30 plus 24. And that'll give me 54. So it's 54 inches. Okay. So it's either 54 inches or 4.5 feet. So this would be your answer, or this would be your answer. Okay. So you use the Pythagorean theorem to answer the question. Last but not least, just a friendly reminder, remember a square consists of two right triangles. Okay. So the diagonal of the square would represent the hypotenuse of your right triangle. So now you're going to go ahead and complete your assignment for today. Make sure you write your formula out, show your substitution, and show all of your steps on your assignment, and have a good day.